Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. I am here, Dr. Karen Kan, with my team member and leader, Gretchen Yui, and she is in the blue in the chat. I want to say hi to everyone on the chat, so please say hi in the chat. Hey, Quila, Cindy, Angie, hey. Great to see you here. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, I'm not going to show my video because I had to change computers and I'm not on a hardwired. So hopefully this will go well today. Yes, it will go well today. I'm going to be positive it'll go well today. Tim from Malaysia. Hello, Erica. Hey, Erica. Okay, fantastic. Holly, Christy. Okay, we got all sorts of countries and states. And do we have any Canadians? Do we have any Canadians on the call? All right. So we're going to get started in just a moment. So if you haven't already figured out, there is a chat, and we will be fielding questions near the end of the presentation. We do have a Canadian. Surrey, BC. Yay. Is it Marja or Maria? Fantastic. So keep your questions to the end, because if you type them in right now, I might miss them. So near the, we'll tell you when the Q&A is at the end. And then if there's any that Gretchen catches, she'll actually, just private message me and say, hey, you remember to answer this one. So it'll be all good. Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to do a little poll here. And so if you're live on the call, there is actually going to be a little question popping up on your screen, probably on your right-hand side. So would love to know what's the number one reason that prompted you to come to this presentation today? Was it to learn more about the benefits of stem cell therapy without invasive injections and needles and all that kind of stuff? Are you a team member on my team? I know some of these are, you could do two, but just pick one. You're looking for a good business opportunity, you have a health challenge, maybe there's something else, and you can write that in the chat, of course. So I will just end that poll in a few minutes. The other thing I'm going to do is, for new folks here that it's the very first time learning about these phototherapy patches, I'm just going to give you an information sheet that you can download as well. So on the live call, there's going to be a little blip up on your computer screen that says download files, so you can do that at your convenience. I'll leave that up. So we're going to get started. So the first thing, of course, is, can you hear me? So if you can just write in the chat, say, yes, I can hear you, and yes, I can see the slide, that would be awesome. And I just want to make sure that the audio and visual is working. So I'm just going to look for that in the chat. If you can hear me. So Timothy says yes. So if you can hear me, and yes, Kurt. Thank you so much. Excellent. Okay. So we are going to get formally started. And this is recorded, by the way, and there's going to be an automatic replay sent to you. Now that replay is automated through Webinar Jam. So that means it's not scrubbable. And what that means is that you can't forward and, go forward and back on it. But what we can do for you after is, post this on an unlisted YouTube site afterwards. And so if you want to refer back to it, you can have that link. It'll just take us a little time to do that afterwards. So I know that's one of the questions that people like to ask. Is there a replay? So yes, there will be a limited time replay, and we'll give you one that's scrubbable as well. So just a little bit about me, because I know there's a lot of folks on the call that I do not know personally. So first of all, welcome. Second of all, just a few things about me. I'm a medical doctor and a best-selling author of the book Guide to Healing Chronic Pain. I'm also a speaker, healer, and adult figure skating champion and competitor. And in fact, thanks to LifeWave, I used to have some illness symptoms, and thanks to LifeWave, it really got me back on my feet. I had fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, was very tired, a lot of pain, could not really work for more than half an hour at a time. And because of this technology, it's really changed my life. And I'm sure my colleague, Dr. Quila, who's on the call today, will say the same for herself as well. She's an acupuncturist, I'm an acupuncturist, and that's why one of the reasons I'm so passionate about sharing this information is because it's changed my life. And now I am back to my Energizer Bunny self. And recently just won a gold medal, bronze medal, silver medal at the adult championships here in Lake Placid just a few weeks ago. So these patches are still helping me big time. I've been a LifeWave for about 15 years as a LifeWave distributor and trainer. So what we're going to cover today, a number of things. First of all, we're going to introduce the newest phototherapy patch in this line of phototherapy patches called the X39. And that's a patch to help enhance stem cells. And we're going to tell you a little bit about stem cells and why they're important. Then we're going to take a look at a study that was done recently on the X39. Some people really like the science bit, so we're going to do a little bit of science. And then we're going to review some of the benefits of X39. And then understanding how phototherapy actually works. And don't worry, this isn't going to be too much technobabble, okay? So you'll understand more of how can light possibly help the body heal itself. And then we're going to just quickly review some of the other patches that have been made by this company prior to the X39, and then answer your questions about the patches, how to use them, things like that. And we've actually got a whole list of common questions that we've amassed over the years. So I'll be answering some of those first, and then we'll get to your questions if I don't answer your question in that, in that time period. So one of the things with these patches is that the X39 has been shown in studies to elevate a specific peptide. Now that is a small molecule that's in your body that your body makes naturally. And through light, we can increase the production of this little molecule. And that little molecule, very famous little molecule, can then activate your stem cells. And you might be asking, well, gee, I'm new to this. What's stem cells? Well, stem cells is like the hottest thing in natural therapy these days. It's super, super, super popular. People are flying all over the place to doctors, getting stem cell injections, and what stem cells are in your body are the kind of cells that can turn into any other type of cell. So think of it as like, it's a cell that has that potential to become a cartilage cell or a bone cell or a muscle cell or a liver cell, right? We call those in medicine, we call those pluripotent cells, meaning that pluri meaning many. So depending on what's needed in the body, if they make healthy young stem cells, can then make healthy other types of cells, maybe ones that we don't have as healthy because of injury or illness or things like that over time. So this particular product, the X39, is the first product known actually in the world using light to be able to elevate this little molecule that activates those stem cells in your body that you already have. Now, you already have this molecule in your body, but as we age, it tends to get lower and lower and lower, unfortunately. So if light can increase this, what's called a peptide, then we can actually make healthier stem cells. So this particular patch elevates a peptide called GHKCU, copper peptide. Say that 5 times fast. So there's a lot of data on this, and one of the things we know for sure is that this particular peptide activates your antioxidant genes. And antioxidants you've probably heard of are very, very important to basically prevent the body from quote unquote rusting or oxidizing. So, and that's like an age thing, but also, people that are athletes or go, out in the sun and get a sunburn or eat bad food, we actually create a lot of rust, so to speak, or oxidation in our body. So antioxidants help keep us young by counteracting that. So this GHK copper peptide helps us with anti-aging because it helps activate these antioxidant genes. And in mice rat studies, years past have shown that this peptide improves pain control and reduces anxiety. And also, interestingly, a lot of anti-pain genes as well, not just in mice or rats. And we know, in humans that this peptide increases the body's healthy stem cells. And when that happens, you get better wound healing, better energy and vitality, deeper sleep. That was definitely true for me, rapid pain relief, and even reduction in the appearance of lines and wrinkles. The wound healing is pretty amazing because you can see that on the surface of the body and notice, wow, there's a big difference. We are going to be showing you some of these pictures in a little bit. So what happens when you activate the stem cells with X39? Well, in this particular study by Dr. Connor, this is a study where they took a look at a whole bunch of different aspects of the human body and measurements, and they measured it over a week in these volunteers, and these people were wearing the X39, and they wore it 7 days straight. And they were made up of men and women, of varying ages between 40 and 65 to be in the study. Now, what's really interesting when I listen to Dr. Connor is just, first of all, she's very funny, but second of all, it's amazing. She is amazed at how quickly there were changes noted in what they measured. So they showed that there was, and I'm only going to give you the significantly ones, the ones that are statistically significant, not the ones that were borderline or sort of good, but not statistical. I'm just giving you the ones that in science are proven statistically significant. So in other words, when scientists see that, and doctors see that, they're like, oh, wow, this is really true. This is better than placebo. Okay, that's what statistical significance means. So in her study, it showed improvements in balancing of the blood pressure, amino acid changes. Now, amino acids are the building blocks of your body, including your muscles, for example. And she said it was really fascinating because there had never been anything studied in the past. As she said, they could make these changes so quickly and so many amino acids in the body. And I thought that was really interesting myself. They showed an anti-inflammatory response, which is super exciting, improvement in people's sleep, and reported short-term memory improvements, and improvements in vitality for people. Now, this slide, try not to memorize it, but so these are the amino acids. Now, some of you will know some of the names of these, very, very long words, but you'll actually see that in color here, the significant changes in red that were what they call statistically significant. So a lot of changes, and that's only within 7 days. So we know that this technology works to do what it says it does. And so the cool thing is, because it uses light, we can elevate antioxidants and decrease inflammation usually within minutes. It's very amazing and interesting. So I want to show you some stories of people from around the world who have been using this technology for a while. This one, I got permission from Lila to share this. Now, these pictures are a thermal photograph, meaning that it takes pictures of heat. Anything that's red or orange is hot. Anything green or blue is the opposite end of the spectrum, is cool. So she was having inflammation or pain in the back and neck area. And she put the X39 on her body. And after 15 minutes, you could actually see a huge decrease in the inflammation of that area. And this is not the only patch that LifeWave makes that does inflammation reduction, but this was a great picture from a person that, we actually, who's in the field, using this patch and got these thermal radiographs done. You can see where the patch is located as well by the arrow. So 15 minutes. This is very, very, very fast. Comparable, or not even comparable, but other pictures like that you might see in other products. For example, there's one for horses that I've seen is a magnetic blanket. And in order to get those kinds of results, it takes about a week of using the blanket. And we're talking 15 minutes. I mean, that's how fast light is. Much, much faster than magnets. So what kind of benefits can you expect from using X39? Well, you can get more energy. So you might notice that you feel less tired and less fatigued. You can do more, which might be a problem in my case because I love doing. Miss Energizer Bunny. Better sleep. I do notice that I thought my sleep was actually really good already, but when I started the X39, I realized the sleep was deeper, that I was waking up with more energy, and even before my alarm, which is, let's just say, rare in my history. I'm not much of a morning person, but I noticed that I will wake up and not need the alarm as much, and that's amazing for me. And then really, really great dreams as well. Pain relief in many people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people have dramatic pain relief with X39 alone. Now, here is Jack, and he is the husband of one of our distributors and leaders, Kan. And he was definitely having a lot of physical issues and really not getting out of the house very much, not having, let's just say, a very happy life, But then he started using the X39 and some of the other patches. And he started putting his weight back on. He actually had lost weight like in an unhealthy way. None of the doctors could figure out what the heck was going on. But he started putting healthy weight back on, and then he started going out of the house and doing things. And so Connie was actually pretty amazed by it. And the best part was, she said, he has a way better outlook on life because he's in a lot less pain. So that's great. And congrats to you, Jack. Now, here's our lovely Mary and Will. And Mary, I met at a conference, healing conference, and she was having some back pain. And we met at the airport, and I said, "Can I pat you?" She's like, "I'll do anything right now." We ended up patching her with this one patch, and she ended up driving me to the conference, and she was in a lot less pain almost right away. And so she's been doing much, much better since then. A lot more energy, much more enthusiasm for life, and less pain. So that's super exciting. So the other things you can also notice is wrinkle reduction. Yay for that, right? We can definitely make that claim for this product. Also, sports performance. And speaking of sports performance, I've been using all the patches really over the last 15 years. And I have to say that it has helped me so much in my competitive figure skating. I never skated as a kid. I only skated, when I was almost 30 years old. And so we're talking hugging the boards with, every pad known to man and a helmet. Okay. I was that bad at skating. Okay. Never learned it as a child. But, I used to come home just sore, all over because I was trying to learn something new. But after the patches came about, it's amazing. My recovery is so much faster. And actually 2 days before my international event a month ago, I tripped on, I don't know, something happened. I was doing ice dance, and I literally suddenly fell, pulled my partner down with me. The back of my head hit the ice, and it sounded like a bowling ball hit the ice. Everyone came running. It was that loud. Okay. And for an injury like that, most people would be either half dead or have a really bad concussion. But I had the X39 on that day. Not to mention, my other regular patches I wear with skating. And I did not suffer a concussion at all. Even the next day, I had a little bit of neck stiffness. And the spot where I hit the head was not swollen. I had a tiny, dime-sized sore spot if I pushed really hard, but it was like nothing happened. And I performed perfectly. Like the next 3 performances we did, won 3 medals, and it was amazing. So yeah. So definitely really has helped me. Scar reduction, we'll show you some of the pictures on that. And this is really interesting from Edna. She talked about, using it for many months, and she's a devout LifeWave, user and distributor. And she really was like, I don't know if this is doing anything, I don't really feel a difference. But then, she ended up having to do some heavy work. And she's not much of an exercise person, she tells me, right? She's carrying these heavy bales and these 5-gallon water buckets, which, is really heavy if you ever tried to do that. And then she said she had no soreness, no pain, and her core felt strong, and she doesn't really exercise regularly. And so she said, okay, they're doing something. So that was a pretty cool story, especially for some people that don't get the immediate pain relief. They can't tell if it's working. So this is a great testimonial to show you, yeah, it's working if you don't know that it's working. Now, Gretchen, who of course is here with me on on the training today and on this webinar, she excitedly texted me one day and she said, I don't know if I told you, but I had, melanoma and I'd taken it out of my, this part of my leg 17 years ago. And I had a scar there for a really long time. And you know what? I can't find it. It's gone. And she didn't even think of taking pictures before and after because it just didn't even cross her mind. She was using X39 generally just for health. But then she just realized one day she could not find the scar anymore. So that was super exciting and awesome. And here's a wonderful gal from one of our Facebook groups. And she was sharing her picture before and after because another person was asking about these spots on the face. And she said, hey, the spots on my face really got better with X39. So she said, here's 2 pictures of me. I don't have, makeup on, and they really helped me. So I thanked her for that testimonial and those pictures. Pretty cool stuff. And here's one from LifeWave Corporate that somebody had submitted as well. So look at the dates, July 2017 and 2018. So normally after a big abdominal scar, the scar is retracted. You see how that it's dimpled in the center, okay? And normally it stays like that for forever, because I'm a medical doctor and I've seen a lot of scars over the years and a lot of abdominal scars. But what's fascinating was that literally a month, okay, this is a year between the first 2 photos, but the second photo is just a month later, and you could barely see that scar, and you can see the scar has what we call remodeled. Yeah, the scar has remodeled. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So that's a great photo. So wound healing, we're going to show you some pictures of that. Youth renewal, we know that the GHK copper peptide helps to rewrite thousands of genes in the DNA to a younger state. Cool. And then age reversal, again, similar results with this peptide. So it's very exciting to have this technology now available to us. Sort of like if you're a Star Trek fan, it seemed like healing was so easy in those Star Trek TV shows. And it's like, this is as close to Star Trek that we've ever gotten so far. So Christine, this is her son who had a snowboarding accident, basically fell on a rock. Snowboarding. And I just met Christine actually at the LifeWave cruise just last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week. The week before last. Anyway, so lovely gal. And this her son had a job interview. Literally a few days later after this, right? So they thought, oh no, he's got this job interview. But you can see day 1, day 2, and day 5, the speed of healing from this wound is very, very fast. So she had to share that with everyone, that wonderful story. And that was really cool. Now, I'm not sure who this is, unfortunately. But this is not a claim that we make, but just wanted to share this with you, that this gentleman had the forethought to, take pictures of his scalp, and over 2 months' time noticed increased hair growth. And a lot of people have noticed that anecdotally and mentioned it. My husband as well, because I can see the top of his head when he sits down and he can't. So, so I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, honey, your hair is much thicker. And he goes, oh, it's always thick. I'm like, no. It is thicker since using the X39. And so that was pretty darn cool. Now, this is our lovely Anna, one of our other leaders as well. And she's had a lot of different health challenges, and she's been using the patches for a while. And she's one of the folks that, that sometimes it's dramatic and sometimes it's not so dramatic as far as the results. And when she started X39, it wasn't super, super dramatic as far as, all of a sudden, everything, was perfectly better. But what she did notice with using the patches, and then she had some testing done, and she's been using X39 as of this testimonial for 6 months, that she had some testing done, and she had some testing done before, and she noticed with the patches that her kidney function, she was in kidney failure, early renal failure, and her kidney function just got better. And she was like, wow, so now it's normal, which is amazing. And then she had a diagnosis of diverticulosis, which is where the colon gets little pockets in them and stress pockets in them, and they can get infected and it can be very serious if they get infected. Now, it just happened to note that she had a routine regular scan, and it showed that the diverticulus was no longer there. The pockets were no longer there. So we can't say X39 cures this disease, but it's just an anecdotal story to go, wow, that's really interesting. That the pockets are no longer there. And it's really great to have this kind of, solid, hard data to show the difference before and after. Now, the next story I'm going to tell you does have graphic photos. So if you are a little woozy when it comes to blood and stuff, you might want to close your eyes. I'll let you know when we're done. Okay, so this picture next here is a picture of my friend. She's a kung fu artist like I am, and we were visiting Canada to do some testing, and I knew she had a melanoma. I didn't know that it was on her foot. And she had told me a while back. And so I saw her in, this cane and her foot wrapped up. And I said, what's going on? She goes, well, didn't I tell you at surgery for melanoma? I said, well, yeah, I wasn't sure where it was. And wasn't that like a month or two ago? She goes, yeah. She says, it's not healing. I'm like, what do you mean it's not healing? And she's like, well, I've had 2 rounds of antibiotics. I'm on the second one right now, and it's not healing. They took a big chunk out of my foot, and the surgeon's really concerned. It hurts like anything, and I can't drive. I can't go to work. She's an osteopath. Everybody has to drive me. And let me just say, she looked miserable. Okay. Like I looked at her and she had this scowl on her face, and I felt so bad. And normally I'm not that direct, but I said to her, you have to use these patches. She goes, I'll just try anything at this point. I'm back and forth to the surgeons. It just, it's not getting better. Anyway, so I convinced her to use the patches. And within the day, she said that the dead skin started falling off, and we started seeing some new stuff underneath. Now, in medicine, we know that healthy wound has what's called granulation tissue, and that is red and has blood supply to it. You can see on the left that it's kind of gooey. On the right, you can start to see a little bit of that red, like that blood supply going to that area. And then on day 3 and 5, I have pictured here, the wound started getting shallower. Okay, so you have the healthy granulation tissue here, the dead stuff is rubbed off, and then it starts to rise. So you can see that the hole, the ulcer is starting to come up again. And literally within a day, she had so much less pain. Within 2 days, she was up doing martial arts, not the whole time, and then by the time we saw her the next week, she was up doing like 4 hours of martial arts. A crazy girl. Anyway, so here's just the difference between day 0 and day 7, a marked difference. And of course, her smile came back, which was the best part for me as her friend, seeing her smile come back. And then literally 10 days, I think it was 10 days, or less than 2 weeks after we started these patches, she announced on Facebook she was back to work full time. Okay, this is someone who was for 2 months, could not drive, could not work, was miserable, and in 10 days time was able to go back to work full time. Amazing. A couple more pictures for you. So this is a person that had a thumb surgery and a very severe injury, and had this blue painful thumb for 18 years. And was bound and determined to do whatever it took to heal this. So had used the patches for almost 3 months. No change. But after 3 months, dramatic change. And so the nail grew back, the blood supply went back to the thumb, the swelling went down, the blueness went away. I mean, this is amazing. This was day 100. So this person stuck with it. And of course, no pain. So that was super cool. And here's a woman from Denmark who had a lot of issues. And we just want to show you, she gave us LifeWave, the picture of her before and after. So you could just see almost the clarity in her face. Like she just looks younger. She looks happier. There's more vibrancy. On the left, she looks just, can I say old? And on the right, she just looks like she's plumped up. So, and doing better physically. So I'm super happy about that. And we're going to show you about how this technology works. So what I'm going to do here is just take a look at the chat. And I know, thank you, Quila, for answering some questions, and Gretchen. Remember, we can talk about diseases when it comes to natural health therapies here in the US because of the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. There's all these rules. So what we can do is talk about what we can claim, which are improvements of symptoms. So we can say increased vitality, increased wound healing, tissue repair, things like that. We're not allowed to say curing, a disease name, right? We can't say curing arthritis or curing herniated discs or prevention of infection or, things like that, or curing cancer. We can't make claims like that. It's not allowed, and it gets the company in trouble. So, so when you ask some questions, we want to make sure you're talking about the symptoms. Otherwise, we can't really answer those questions for you. So what I'm going to show you now is a little short video of how the patches actually work. Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words, better than me trying to explain it. So I'm going to put this video on and turn on the sound.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. Since 2004, LifeWave has been delivering its amazing life-enhancing technology to people across the world, always helping the body do what it was designed to do, only better. And as it turns out, the best was yet to come. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body. How you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39. Imagine investing in companies like these when they first went public and riding their growth to where they are today. Those who made wise decisions to get involved gained incredible wealth. Now it's your turn. When it comes to regenerative anti-aging science, stem cells are the future. And thanks to LifeWave, you are at the forefront of it all. Don't miss out. X39 puts you on the threshold of explosive growth in your business like no other product ever could. And all you need to do is try it and share it with others. The LifeWave X39 patch, an absolute breakthrough. For your body, for your business. Live long, live well, live younger. Experience the power of LifeWave today.
Okay, so we're back on the air here, and I will show you my screen again. So I know there's some great questions on here. I will definitely address these. Thank you so much for that. So that gives you an idea of how the technology works. And one of the easiest ways to explain it that I really like is people say, well, how does light make your body do anything? And I'm like, well, how do you get a tan? That is light, right? And, also you make vitamin D through sunlight. They help, there are these frequencies in your body naturally. And it's like the LifeWave patches talk to your body through light, through frequency in order to get your body to do different things. In this case, elevate GHK copper peptide. Just like, there's all these different kinds of frequencies that we know about. Visible frequencies are light that you can see. LifeWave uses the lights in the infrared range where you cannot see it with the visible, with your eyes, but those are still frequencies. So that's how it works, through the infrared range of frequencies. And just so you know, if you really wanted to see where the light is, using this particular technique, this slide is courtesy of Dr. Steve Haltiwanger, who is the medical director of LifeWave, and he allowed me to use the slide. So with GDV, you can actually see light coming from the patches. This happens to be the white energy enhancer patches, one of our first patches ever made, and then the tan is on the bottom. And basically, for those that are, technically inclined or chemistry inclined, the rotation of what's in the patches is different. The patches are made of crystalline, tiny nano-sized crystalline structures, oxygen, amino acids, certain kinds of sugars. Of course, exactly how they're put together, exactly their structure, that is a trade secret. So I don't even know exactly how David figures this stuff out and creates it, but we do know that there's crystalline structures in the patches that resonate a frequency. They're like crystal antennas. And John, actually here, I can never say his name, Krutov. Anyway, he gave me permission to use this slide. Somebody he knows actually has an electron microscope. So you can see that the crystals on the patches at the bottom here, and then after 12 hours, the crystals are used up and they kind of go to mush after about 12 hours on the right hand side. You can see that. So yes, there are nano-sized crystals in there. So my question to you is, a lot of people are first of all, traveling and spending upwards of $25,000 a year for stem cell injections. And when I was asking David Schmidt, what is the big advantage here of using phototherapy? And he says, well, one of the doctors that he went to a convention was talking about how a third of the people who get stem cell injections do better. They do well. Another third, actually, nothing happens. Yeah, they don't improve. And how would you like to spend $25,000 for something not improving? Not me. And then one other third, Dr. Snyder was the name of the doctor, said that the other third actually have complications. And that's where is of concern to me as a medical doctor, because anytime you pull something out of someone with a needle or inject something, there's always a risk of infection, a risk of, maybe the wrong kind of cell, is being introduced. Whose stuff is it? Maybe there's autoimmunity, there's all sorts of possibilities. And here's the thing, if you even use your own stem cells, they're not healthy stem cells as we get older, right? So that's why I think a third of the people don't get better using injections, despite how much it costs. So this is great because the GHK copper peptide makes your stem cells healthier. And I just wanted to mention some of the other patches that we have in the company. We have ones for pain relief. And although X39 does work for a huge number of people for pain relief, the IceWave has two patches, a white and a tan, and that works a lot faster for some people, myself included, for pain relief. Sort of like acupuncture without needles. Then we have the Eon patches, which are for stress and inflammation. We have Nirvana, which is for mood enhancement. We also have Silent Nights here, that is for sleep. helping support melatonin and serotonin. We have aloe vera here, which helps to elevate a specific antioxidant that helps with multiple things, but also skincare. And it connects with your pineal gland. Glutathione is an antioxidant for detoxification. Carnosine, tissue repair. WinFit, we're not going to sell that anymore, but my husband loves it, unfortunately. That was for body shaping. Energy enhancers for energy, of course. AccuLife is for horses, for pain relief, and SP6 Complete is for hormone balance and appetite control. So, and I use that. I really like that because I used to have to eat every 2 hours, and now I don't. I can eat less often. You may ask, why is WinFit not being produced? It basically has to do with the finances. If a product doesn't sell well, then, understandably, they don't want to keep making it. So it is what it is. You might be asking, well, where are these available? Well, it's available in a lot of countries, actually probably more than 108 now. They just opened up like 16 countries in Africa. So it's available quite a number of countries. And then how much does it cost is always a question that people ask. So the retail price is $149.95 for 30 patches, which will last you 30 days. That's a lot cheaper than $25,000. You can also become a preferred customer where you get it automatically shipped to you. It's called Smart Delivery every single month, and then you get it for less, which is the same price as the distributors like myself get them for, which is under $100. So they're really great value for what they do. And just so you know, our mission as LifeWave distributors is to improve the health, beauty, wellness, and longevity of every person that we encounter without the drugs, pills, or injections through advanced wearable light-based technology that's fast, effective, and affordable. Now, there are many different LifeWave teams out there, and if you're new to LifeWave and someone has introduced you to this webinar, what you need to do is contact them, whoever introduced you to the webinar, to get more information about the product. And if you're at all interested in becoming a distributor yourself, you can just contact the person that brought you to this presentation. They can share more information about the different patches as well as the business opportunity. So the team that I've created is called the Patch Training Team, and we're really passionate about teaching because I love teaching. So our steps to success are, first of all, obviously people have to try the product, they have to enroll, experience the product, then engage people with their own personal story and be well themselves. That's really important in our team. And then educate others and then empower others to do the same for other people as well. So that's our 5-step process in our PATS training team. So now it's time for you to ask your questions. So you can put some questions in the chat. I've seen a few here that I would like to definitely answer, and then also answer some of these other common questions that people ask. So I'm going to answer a couple questions that are on the chat, and then come back to the common questions, and then we'll go back and forth a little bit. Okay. So Marie says, I have no cartilage left in my knee. Will X39 help me regrow cartilage? Should I use X39 directly on the knees, at the point of pain, or at the umbilicus or back of the neck? So she's talking about the instructions for the X39 being below the belly button or the back of the neck. So Marie, we don't know for sure whether or not your cartilage will grow back, but certainly that would be my intention as well. And the thing is that a lot of people, even if they have no cartilage, they have no pain. So I want you to be open to the possibility that your body, when it creates stem cells, will create it in whatever order that's required to repair your body. Like, for example, I'll tell some people will say, well, gee, my right knee isn't better since using the patch. And, because I'm a spiritual healer and I can do intuitive muscle testing at a distance for people, then I'll just ask their bodies. I say, well, where is this working, right? And sometimes it's like their immune system, So for example, if someone has, something dangerous going on in their immune system, the stem cells actually might address that first, long before they address the cartilage in the knee. So we can't make that claim for sure for you that's going to do that, but we have a lot of people with cartilage problems in their knee that have gotten better, with the X39. And as far as where you would put it, I would say definitely try it where you have the problem. and let us know, how that goes. Let me go back to another question here. Quila asked, where was X39 used on the thumb? I believe it was used near the thumb. Yeah, near the thumb, Quila. Mary says, people with injuries, where they put the patch. Most people will put the patch near the area of the injury, and I would too as well, because, there's a lot of acupuncture points all over the body, and why not, use an acupuncture point that's near, not that you have to use an acupuncture point, but any spot near the area of injury, there's an acupuncture point near there. So I prefer using it near there, but theoretically, you can put the patch anywhere and it still addresses the whole body. That's the neat thing about the phototherapy patches, which is different from stem cell injections in a specific area, is it's a holistic whole body treatment. Evelyn talked about improvement in eyesight. Well, Dr. Quila is a great one to answer that question. She's definitely been using all the different patches, and she has her own protocol. And we actually did a LifeWave radio show on my radio show. And so if you're on Facebook, and if you're part of the Patch Training Team support group, which is open to people from all over the world, doesn't have to be my team only. On Facebook, it's called Patch Training Team Support Group. You can apply to be in that group for free and just ask this question, tag me, and then we'll give you that radio show link so you can listen to the archive of that show. Head spasms. If it helps, I don't know if it's going to work for you, Eva, for that, but it's worthwhile to try, because who knows, what is not working well, right? Whether that's a muscle or whether that's the nerve signals or something like that. So I would definitely give it a month at least, to help you with that, and put it at the point near the back of the neck, because that's a very good point for the whole body. Yes, thank you, Lil. Yep, Lil asked about bone on bone situation for hips and knees. Yep, we know lots of people that have that situation who are a lot better now, but we can't really make that claim, that it will specifically grow cartilage in a specific area for you, but we know stem cells can do that. Sorry, Shakana, you put up the name of a disease, so I cannot answer that question for you. Tracy, where's the best location for the X39 patch? I think it's, if you have a problem area, put it near there. If not, then I would say follow the brochure. Okay, Lil says, okay, again, you put a diagnosis, but I'm going to rewrite that for you. So will LifeWave help with nerve issues related to diabetes? I think, again, it's worthwhile. If it were me, I would definitely try it, because these things don't get better very easily, and you need all the help you can get, definitely. Mary says, is X39 harmful to someone with high white blood count? I would not be concerned about that, Mary. However, if someone's under the care of a medical doctor and it's a serious issue, we always say, LifeWave Corporate always says, get the blessing of the doctor, okay? And give them information on it, and help them make a decision together. I know some people are very stubborn, not stubborn, sorry, shouldn't use that word. They are very empowered. So regardless of whatever their Western medical doctor says, they're going to do what they want, because they, believe in natural health and healing and yada, yada, right? So, but we're not going to tell you to do something against your doctor. So I would say, we have to say, consult your practitioner, and, tell them a bit about phototherapy, how it works, and then you can make a decision together. But we can't say, I'm just saying I would not be concerned, but you can't tell the person that they should use it, okay? So Mary, just be careful about that. Okay, so penis says, do stem cells activate just 3D carbon tissue or 5D crystalline tissue? That's really interesting, because I think that because of the way David has created these, and it's funny because he goes, and before he goes to bed at night, he prays and he says to God, he says, show me what is the next best thing that I am to create to help humanity? And he prays before he does a workout. Okay, even I don't do that. Okay. This guy's really interesting. And so because of the crystalline structure of the patches, Dr. Dennis Lobstein and I do a radio show every month on the patches, and we do advanced protocols. So this is not for beginners. So advanced protocols, we do this radio show. Niquila has been on it as well. And we talk about how using intention can shift the crystalline, you can program crystals to a certain extent. Okay. Again, we can't prove this. There's no machine to prove it that we can do this. Okay. But we have anecdotally witnessed that we can put a positive intention into a crystalline structure. And because the LifeWave patches are crystalline, then you can make that intention. And, but again, I can't prove it to you, but I would say, for me, yes, it does. Okay. Aileen says, I use infrared light therapy. Will this interfere? No, it will not. Just don't use it at the same time because heat will melt the crystals faster. The stem cells go through the bloodstream and go into the brain, passing through the blood-brain barrier. I think it depends where they are and where they're coming from and where they're growing. So there's all these different types of stem cells, skin stem cells, blood stem cells, all that kind of stuff. So your body will know and have an intelligence of where things should go and when. So this gives a signal for GHK copper peptide to elevate. That gives a signal to stem cells to, activate, grow healthy stem cells. And then your body has the wisdom to know where they go. So this is very different from injecting stem cells in a specific area. Like that's like forcing, right? In a way, hey, you're going to get these stem cells right here, So yeah, so that's the best I can answer that question. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, again, Timothy, you can't use a diagnosis name. Let's just say, would it help people with inflammation of a joint? Yes, often they will. So I would definitely try it. And if that does not help with the pain, I would try the ice wave or both at the same time, even better. One of the questions that comes up with X39 is it safe in cancer? So this is David's answer for that. GHK copper peptide, stem cells rather, have been used to treat cancer. Okay. We cannot make a claim for cancer, as you know, because that's a disease name. If you get stem cells outside of your body, is there a risk in cancer? Some people feel there is. However, these are stem cells made inside your body. Your body has a natural intelligence. We know with the other patches, what we found is, for example, glutathione, is that there's a ceiling to which the glutathione is made. Your body's like, okay, I'm not going to make more of that because you don't need it. So that's what we've noticed in the other patches as well. So in the United States, we can't even do, because of the FDA and the rules and big pharma and everything, we can't even do these studies in the States, right? Even if we wanted to. And it's very dicey for the company to, let's say, compete with big pharma when it comes to cancer. So I don't think that it's something that is going to be pursued as far as research, at least not in this country. But what I can tell you is I have, because of my 15 years of experience in the company and the various different patches, I recommended these to my father who has kidney cancer. He's funny because he's like, I don't know if I feel anything, right? He loves the energy enhancer patches. He can definitely feel a difference there. But he says, I'm going to do it because I have no other options. They're telling me, surgery or dialysis, take your pick, And so he'd been using them for over 6 months and, he got his kidney scans back. It was better than they thought. The tumor had stopped growing. Again, this is anecdotal. Okay, you can share the story, but you have to understand it's anecdotal. It's not a study. So the tumor stopped growing and he said, thanks be to God. So, he's kind of living his life like nothing's, happening, but, the doctors still look, well, you still have a tumor, but it's not growing anymore. His kidney function stabilized over 2 years. So he's just we're having that wait and see kind of attitude. So that's my answer for that. Let's do some of the common questions now. Will it work for me? Okay. Well, the answer to that is I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to work for you like all these other people that we've shown today. But what if it does? What if it does work for you the way that it does for other people, myself and others? Then would you like to try it then? You have 30 days to try it, money back guarantee. Some people do need more time, like the person with the thumb, right? 90 days, before results show on something severe and long lasting. But I think it's worth a try. I mean, given what it can do and the potential and the low cost compared to all the other options we have out there, for me, it's worth it. So the other question, what kind of stem cells does X39 stimulate? Well, there's all different kinds of stem cells in the body. So this is too big a discussion, but you can look up GHK copper peptide. So if you want to look at that and search that on Bing or Google or whatever, you'll get a better sense of that. Is there a time that X39 is no longer useful? That is a great question. Well, we have noticed that some people, if they use X39 for over 12 hours without the break, the 12-hour break in between, that it's less effective long term. So we definitely, unlike the other patches where some people leave them on for days, for whatever reason it works for them for days, but for the X39, we definitely recommend taking them off at 12 hours. So that you have so that the body's not constantly being stimulated, and so far we have not found, David said there's no ceiling right now to the effects. In other words, the effects are continuing to improve. They have a 6-week study, and now they're going to do a 3-month study, and then after that 6-month study. So they're going to keep going to see how long, how much more improvement they can get. Maybe there is a ceiling, I don't know. But right now the answer is we don't think so. How long should I wear them? 12 hours on, 12 hours off. How long do the patches take to work? Well, they start to work within minutes. The question is, can you feel them working? Some people are very energy sensitive. They can, like my friend with the melanoma of her foot that was cut out, she could feel it the second it went on her body. She could feel something was happening. She could feel chi and energy running up her leg, Other people, they can't feel anything. But they work within minutes as far as the results that you'll see. It can be anywhere from a minute to a week to 3 weeks. It really just depends as far as what you're looking for results. Is there anyone that X39s would not help? That is a great question. Well, I would have to say, and it's not a physical thing, I would have to say if someone is not really dedicated to natural well-being and health, it's not going to erase bad habits, right? So if someone is, smoking, drinking, eating a lot of candy, not exercising, is like, I don't know, emotionally distraught all the time, you know what I mean? So it's not going to erase bad habits, right? You still have to hydrate. You still have to try, to live a healthy life. So if you're filling yourself with toxins day in and day out, whether they be chemical or emotional or whatever, one patch is not going to solve all of that. So you still have to have a half decent lifestyle and hydration. Okay, next question. Are they like magnets? No. Holographic discs? No. Energy ones? No. So they, because of the crystalline structure in them, they actually emanate biological frequencies, like the GHK copper peptide is a biological thing that you make in your body. And so we find that this is a much more complex thing that happens in your body as a response to the patches, a very balancing effect. I have not had great luck personally with magnets or holographic discs. I've tried several brands of holographic discs. Keep hoping that, just to test them out to see what would happen. And energy ones, I've also tried several of them as well. So I think it's really at the end of the day, it's sort of like what works for you, right? I'm not saying you should or shouldn't do these things. It's like what works best for you. For me, what I've seen with the phototherapy patches in LifeWave is that it's one of the fastest things I've seen to help. My skin went from being full of acne and pimples and zits and bumps on my arms and legs to being smooth. And now I have healthier skin than I did when I was a teenager. So it's like, okay, no brainer, right? I'm going to continue this because I've tried a lot of other things and nothing has helped as much as this. What's inside the patches? We talked a little bit about that. Water, amino acids, oxygen, some specific sugars, and a crystalline structure. How long do you wear the patches? Usually 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Should I put X39 near the area of the body with a problem? I would say yes, try it there. And you can try it elsewhere and experiment a little bit. Doesn't matter, left or right sides of the body, doesn't matter. Can you direct where stem cells should go? That's a great question. I think we talked about intention in the crystalline structure and shifting things with intention. I say, why not try it? Why not try it? And talk to your patches. I talk to my patches sometimes. I'm like, okay, guys, we're gonna heal this knee, yeah, so we don't have any studies supporting that, but can't hurt to try. Any positive results with bulging discs? Yes. Pain from bulging discs? Yes. We have had good results. My friend Thomas Burke had a fairly severe car accident and was told he needed surgery in his neck. He's an avid tennis player, and after X39, actually about 3 weeks, he was back to playing tennis. He says his quote unquote degenerative knees were much better as well, and he really doesn't have a problem now. Thyroid nodules. I don't think I have anyone. Oh, actually, there was somebody who said that was better, but again, anecdotal. So we can't say in the studies that it proves that it does that. If you're allergic to the adhesive, or if you're very sensitive, this is hypoallergenic. But if you happen to be allergic to every hypoallergenic sticker out there, then I would suggest you put it on clothing, because it works through even solid wood. Not that you would carry wood around, but anyway, but you can stick it on your clothing. You could stick it on the outside even of your clothes for sensitive children, for example. And you would, if you wanted to use it in children, we would recommend that you use it in children that can speak and give you feedback on how they feel. That's the rules, for the company. So you can put it on the outside of their clothing if they're sensitive. To scratchiness or feeling. How many different kinds of patches can you wear at once? Well, I think David and I and Quella probably recommend no more than 6, but don't do that right away. I don't mean 6X39. Some people will wear, when I was figure skating and competing, I had LifeWave, Energy, Eon, X39 usually at night, and SP6. So yeah. Yeah, so you can use patches on children. We say talking age is best. Pregnant women, we can't say, there's no studies on pregnant women. Nobody does studies on pregnant women. However, if I were going to choose, as a medical doctor, choose between using patches, say energy enhancer patches, versus say using needles in acupuncture or using drugs, I would say the patches are a heck of a lot safer than using medication in pregnant women. We have not used X39 in pregnant women. So, I would say energy enhancer patches, we have lots of, anecdotal data over 15 years using that. For pregnant women, X39, we do not. So, I think you have to talk to the doctor about that, whether or not you're comfortable with that. So pets, yes, you can use it on pets. However, again, the company's AccuLife says it's for horses, but you can use the same protocols for pets. And the AccuLife comes with a little bead. The bead is not terribly useful. However, it is there for the registration of the product, so you can actually throw those beads out. Okay, we talked about people with cancer. Do you detox using patches? Yes, you do. Whether you feel that detox or not, it depends on you. You definitely have to hydrate well. And definitely, if you don't take, general vitamin mineral supplements, a good idea as well, because detoxification is something that happens when your body's healthier and is able to do. So, mild headache, mild fatigue, mild stuffy nose, that can happen as part of the healing process. Usually not a big deal and usually very short-lived. But if you have an issue with that, you can definitely contact whoever you buy the patches from, and they can help you with that. Which patch should I use first? There's so many. Yes. Well, I always like to start with I used to like to start with the Eon patches because I have a brain balancing protocol on our website, patchtrainingteam.com. And I used to always do that first. But with the X39, given what it does, now I use that first, and I use that before I use the other patches for at least a week before I add on other patches just to see what it does. So, if you are interested and this is new to you, you'd like to try the patches, contact the person that sent you to this webinar. If it happened to be me or one of my team members, and you are looking for some help, we can definitely help you with that. So I'm just going to put on here, I'm just going to publish here that on our website, patchtrainingteam.com, you can get a free consultation with one of our leaders. Kan, Anna, and Gretchen are there, so they can help answer your questions. Now, I want to be very clear. This is only for people who are brand new to LifeWave. Okay, so if you already are a distributor, already are a customer, please, please, please contact your upline, your sponsor, the person you bought it from for help. So if you want a free consult with my team, it's only for people that are brand new to LifeWave who are interested in trying it for the first time, so they can help guide you whether it's for you, not for you, which ones, and they can even set up a 3-way call with me if necessary, if you need some additional help. Okay, we're going to go to some more questions here. Okay, so Erica talks about low mood. Yeah, that's the Nirvana. That's the Nirvana kit. It's some pills, and it's the only one that has pills, actually. And it has a patch that elevates endorphins, and it's been shown to elevate mood and to stabilize mood. So I would say, and Anna has a great story of that. I don't know if she's on today, but about mood. So that would be the Nirvana. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down here. Lil says, I definitely want a free consult with myself and your husband. Awesome. Great. So you can just click that button to go to Pat's training team, and you can chat with Gretchen, Anna, or Kan. Can this address and relieve a growth on the teat nipple of the small dog? I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty safe to try it. What I would do with a small dog, however, though, is put it on for a very short period of time, because they're a little person, right? So if you take a patch and somehow figure out how you can stick it on them for like an hour, for 12 days straight, an hour a day, and see how that goes. And if they don't like it, they want it off, you know what, just respect the pet, right? And just like, nope. And make sure that this is a pet that is well enough that can drink water, because hydration is very important. Let's see. Okay, Koala says she had someone that she's worked with nodules on the back of her neck that got smaller overnight. Wow, that's exciting. Very exciting. Ella says, would my eyesight get better and get worse after discontinuing use? And here's the thing. That's a great question I didn't address. The body's always under some sort of stress. Just being in a home with electromagnetic frequencies in it, like cell phones, routers, electricity in the walls, is a stress to the body. It ages the body. Even if you eat perfectly, okay, like all organic food, you've got, fancy water filter that's $5,000, you drink structured water, whatever, okay? There's always some sort of stress in life, and it's aging you. So do you want the patches to just get rid of a symptom temporarily, or do you want the patches to help you heal and reverse those signs of aging over a long time? For me, it's the second thing that I'm choosing. So what'll happen is, if you stop using the patches, your body will go back to the baseline that it was prior to using the patches eventually, right? Because you don't have that signal to keep up the body, reverse aging. So thank you for that. Marja, I cannot answer that question about cataracts. I'm sorry, because you said the word cataracts. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Lil says, not an excuse to abuse your body. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, so Kachi says, hints on using it for your four-legged friends. You can actually use the same points that are in the AccuLife brochure, the ones for the horses, and you can use it for your four-legged friends. Like I said, just really keep an eye on them to make sure that they are okay with it, because if they don't like it, they want to get it off, that means it's too much stimulation. Is it normal for initial user to experience pain before recovery? And a small percentage of people that can happen. And one of the reasons is because stem cells will go to areas of inflammation. When your body heals itself, like for example, scar remodeling, the body requires itself to make some inflammation, in this case, positive inflammation, in order to dismantle the old scar structure. Okay, in order to repair it. So for some people, that can cause temporarily mild increase in pain before it gets better. And that usually doesn't last more than a week. But, there are exceptions to everything, I suppose. But that's a great question. So it is possible. But a lot of people just stick through it, or they use the LifeWave patches, for pain relief simultaneously to move the energy. You want to make sure that you have good nutrition and hydration, of course, to get that faster than before. Let's see here. Christy says, is it possible to regrow bone mass? Well, yeah. I mean, I think that your stem cells can decide whatever is best for you, right? When you grow stem cells, healthy stem cells, where you need it. Now, I have amazing bone mass. I can't say it's necessarily from the patches because my diet's improved a lot over the years. And I drink bone broth either in a powdered form or liquid every single day. And my bone mass is like, a preteen, like in terms of, because teenagers, it starts to decline because they eat so poorly these days. So it's better than a teenager. My bone mass is excellent. Maybe that's why I hit my head and nothing happened. Okay. Eileen, yeah, I think I answered that question about cancer. Your stem cells really help with your immune system. And when I've done remote testing on people, energetic testing, spiritual testing on people as to what the stem cells are doing, I have to say the immune system or the nervous system is always almost number one and number two of priority of that body. So it might not be that knee cartilage, but it's that immune system. And like my friend had that melanoma, right? And I was bold enough to say, you need to try this patch. And you could see the difference. Her immune system was way down. That's why antibiotics didn't work. Nothing was working for her. And I had the boldness to say, you need this patch. So anyway, but I'm a medical doctor. You're not, I don't think. So you need to have that person contact their medical doctor to see if it feels right? Don't force people to do it, even if you think it's right for them. Okay, let's see here. Any other questions? I think Gretchen has actually texted me most of them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wendy says, there's a test package we can try. Yeah, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I would say buy the 30 days. And then if, it's day, 25 and you don't feel like there's a difference in your vitality, your sleep, all the things we talked about, then you can return them and get a refund. Okay, so great. Fantastic. I think that's, okay, Neil, you might have come in a little late here, but is this webinar available for replay? Yes, it is. The automatic replay will come to you, and we will also be posting this on a unlisted link in YouTube once we get it loaded up, so you can forward and backward, fast forward and backwards in the slide. Kane says, for her pet, I just hold the patch on my 3-pound dog for about 15 minutes, 3 times a day as she lays on my lap. Great suggestion. Yeah, fantastic. Great. Yeah, so the smaller the dog, I would say the less time you need to use. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so just so you know, that button's there. So in case you are new to LifeWave, or, one of my team members or myself have invited you to this webinar, you can click that to go to patchtrainingteam.com and book a free call and consult with us. Everyone else, please go back to whoever it is that brought you to this webinar in the first place. Super excited that you were here with me today. I want to thank Dr. Quila for joining us. That was a nice surprise. And my team members, Kane, Anna, Gretchen, and there's quite a few here as well. I won't name you all, Erica. Yeah, super, super excited that you were here with me today. And just so you know, we will continue having this webinar. We'll keep refining it, hopefully making it shorter each time. for everyone, and maybe even doing a recorded version so folks can share it with people in the future. Okay, thanks everyone for listening in, and I will hope to connect with you. So, yes, I'm just reading that. Yeah, it was so great working with you too, Koala. Super, super fun. Yeah, there's actually an event in Las Vegas in January. And I just loved seeing people from all over the world sharing LifeWave. In fact, in Japan, one of the distributors on the LifeWave cruise I just came back from, one of the medical doctors or acupuncturists, I can't remember, on his team is sponsoring, I think, 2,000 people a month. Wow. They're very open there. And they stem cell stuff is super popular. So it's amazing. Yeah, it's really exploding all over the world. So yeah, now's the time. And then if you know anyone who might be interested in the business opportunity, we the Patch Training team definitely looking for a specific type of person to join our team. Those that are really into education, that are really into service. We're not a team that does the whole big rah-rah, push, push, push salesy stuff. It's just not our style. So we are looking for a new member to join our team. So if you know anyone who might fit that bill, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. Bye, everyone. Take care. Thanks for being here.